Okay, today we're diving into a massive collision that's happening right now in artificial intelligence. It's this incredible crash between flawed science, billions of dollars of concentrated capital, and, you guessed it, a tidal wave of new laws. And this whole story, it kicks off with one very, very simple question.
So think about it. How do you actually know if a chatbot is safe to use? It sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, it turns out the way the entire industry has been answering this question is, frankly, fundamentally wrong.
Here's how it works today. You give a chatbot some kind of dangerous prompt, you check its output, and if that one single response isn't dangerous, boom, the test passes. That's it. Seriously, that is the gold standard.
But a groundbreaking new paper from King's College London just came along and basically blew that entire method apart. As they put it, this method of checking just a single response, it misses the most dangerous failure mode completely. And that brings us to the first part of our story, the science. A viewpoint published in JMIR Mental Health is challenging the very foundation of how we all think about AI safety.
The researchers have a name for this hidden danger, and it's a great one: trajectory effects. This just reframes the entire problem. The real risk isn't one bad answer. It's the slow, subtle drift, the harm that quietly builds up over weeks of conversation.
And look, these are not abstract risks. We're talking about real clinical symptoms. Compulsive use that completely wrecks sleep patterns, a withdrawal from real friends and family, a slow narrowing of a person's world until the chatbot is the only voice they're really listening to. And our current tests are completely blind to all of this. So, the crucial point here is that we need a whole new paradigm. The old way, just reviewing a single transcript, is totally insufficient. The new way, what the researchers are calling for, is longitudinal surveillance, which is really about tracking what happens to the human after the conversation is over. And this isn't just a theory anymore, not by a long shot. We've actually watched this concept of long-term harm explode from a simple academic idea into a public health issue at a speed that is just breathtaking. And this timeline just illustrates that speed perfectly. In 2023, one of the paper's co-authors, Soren Ostergaard, he coins the term chatbot psychosis. It was just a hypothesis. Today it has a Wikipedia page, it's been cited in 12 hospitalizations at UCSF, and it's the subject of a formal study by UCSF and Stanford. All of that in just over a year. That is the incredible velocity of this problem. Which, raises a huge question. If the foundational science of safety is this flawed, then where are investors placing their bets? Where is all the capital flowing in such an uncertain environment? This brings us to the second big force in our collision, money. The market is consolidating in a big way, and AI is shifting from being a special feature to becoming just basic infrastructure. So, the latest report from Rock Health, and they are the most respected research firm in this space, shows that a staggering $4 billion was invested in digital health in just the first quarter of this year. So yeah, the money is definitely not drying up. But here's the catch. Take a look at how that money was distributed. It is not spread out, not even a little. Nearly 60% of that $4 billion went to just 12 companies in a series of mega deals. Capital isn't just flowing. It's concentrating right at the very top. And then Rock Health did something they have never done before. They officially stopped tracking AI deals as a separate category. Why? Because, and this is their quote, AI is now table stakes. It's no longer a differentiator, it's a utility, kind of like electricity. Every company is expected to use it. This marks a massive pivot for the entire industry. The whole value proposition has flipped. The question investors and customers are asking is no longer, do you use AI? It is now, can you prove your AI is safe? So we have flawed science, and we have concentrated capital. And now for the third force that's rushing to meet them, a massive, bipartisan, and shockingly fast wave of new regulation. Let's just run through some of the numbers, because they're pretty wild. According to the Future of Privacy Forum, there are 98 chatbot-specific bills currently working their way through state legislatures as we speak. And those 98 bills are spread across 34 different states. This is a widespread national movement. It's not a red state or blue state issue either. Democrats introduced 53% of the bills, and Republicans introduced 46%. And these aren't just proposals, just things people are talking about. 25 new AI-related laws have already been signed and enacted this year alone. But here is the most stunning number of all, and this comes from Plural Policy, Of those 25 new laws, 19 of them were signed in just the last 3 weeks. The pace isn't just fast, it is accelerating. This really is a regulatory avalanche.
And it's not just the states. Congress is getting involved. The Chatbot Act, or H.R. 7985, would make it a federal violation for an AI to impersonate a licensed professional, like a doctor or a lawyer or a therapist. A federal floor for accountability is being set right now.
So let's bring it all together. We have safety tests that are measuring the wrong thing, we have capital that's pooling into a few massive companies, and we have lawmakers who are moving at an incredible speed to regulate the space. A collision is, well, it's inevitable.
So let's just recap that through line. 1. The science of safety is broken. We're measuring single outputs, not long-term trajectory effects. 2. The market is consolidating, rewarding scale over caution. And 3. Regulators are not waiting for the industry to figure it out.
And this leaves every single builder, every investor, and every policymaker with one critical question. In the face of this collision, as these new rules are being written, will your work be rewarded for its foresight on safety, or will it be buried as a liability?